You could not write this, could you? Thousands of cars that people actually want to buy held up in an attempt to meet the government's agenda for the cars that no one wants to buy. We knew a bit of this was going on in the background, petrol and diesel car rationing, but for thousands of people to be out of their hard-earned money and not receive the cars that they've paid for, it's disgusting, isn't it? There's no other way of putting it. Hello and welcome back, a very warm welcome to you. As you can probably tell, wasn't planning on making a video today. I'm caught out, I'm in the car, but I do have my camera with me. And this story, it's landed in my inbox 7 or 8 times this morning alone, along with a subscriber who, despite ordering the car at the beginning of October, are still told they can't get it until next year. Madness, and certainly worthy of a bit of discussion. Let's pull the article up and go through that first. If you're one of thousands of drivers with a new petrol or diesel car on order, don't expect to have it in time for Christmas or New Year. That's because car makers are holding back deliveries until January in the latest underhand tactic to meet binding electric vehicle sales targets and avoid hefty fines, according to a boss at a leading retailer chain. Robert Forrester, chief exec of Vertu Motors, said dealers are being forced to delay customers from taking delivery of their new cars, which are being held in compounds until January. This is because car companies are desperate to avoid penalties for failing to register a 22% share of EVs in 2024. This is the binding threshold set out by the Zero Emission Vehicle ZEV Mandate introduced this year. Failure to meet the 22% target can result in fines of £15,000 per vehicle short of the required threshold. By restricting the availability of new petrol and diesel cars until the new year, manufacturers are rationing by the back door in a bid to artificially inflate EV sales figures, Forrester said. The Vertu Motors boss, who oversees 202 dealers representing major brands including Honda, BMW and Kia across the country, told Auto Express, "We have petrol cars in compounds which have been sold to customers, but the keys cannot be handed over because manufacturers understandably want to avoid fines at the end of the year. So screw the customer, huh?" Christmas is coming and there will be thousands of car customers of different dealerships around the UK who cannot take delivery of their cars because they're being held until January and the new quota year. It's rationing by the back door. So who really is to blame here? Because this article takes aim at the manufacturers, saying that they're using underhand tactics. However, put yourself in their position. Ford, Stellantis, Vauxhall, they've all shown the real world effects that this mandate is having through job losses, factory closures. So can you really blame them? What do you think? And also, this is what makes me loathe these new car statistics when they're misinterpreted and bandied around. Oh, no one wants to buy a petrol car anymore. Look at the massive losses in petrol sales. Everyone wants an EV. When honestly, it couldn't be further from the truth. And the last point I want to make here is, by rationing these petrol and diesel cars, all we're doing is kicking the can down the road. Remember, this mandate only gets more fierce as the years roll by. It's going to increase the amount of EVs on the road, or the amount of EVs that they want to see on the road is going to increase, and manufacturers are going to be held to ever more stringent targets. So what are we going to do next year, and the year after that, and the year after that? It's all a bit mad. Anyway, as is customary, let's get a look at some of the comments on this article, and also drop your own in the comments section below. Nothing underhand about what dealers or manufacturers are doing. They are trying to protect their business and employment. It's clear people don't want or can't afford EVs. Fining manufacturers for not hitting targets won't change that. It'll simply make them move to other countries. You can't force an industry to be successful. Success has to occur naturally. You have to be seriously deluded if you think buying an electric vehicle is going to help the environment. I will be the first to admit I cannot afford an electric vehicle, but I wouldn't buy one even if I won the lottery. Fair enough. However, if I thought for 1 minute electric vehicles made one iota of difference in the world's environmental issues, I might think other people should. Does anyone really believe us hitting net zero can save the world? Net zero is draining the economy of this country and is having an adverse effect on the freedoms of most of us. Interesting comments. Now, I do want to hear yours, so please be sure to drop it in the comments section below. Interesting times. I do think this is going to result in people hanging onto cars longer. I've said that before. And people who would previously have entered the new market looking to buy a car are probably going to find their way into the used market now. And if that's you, then here's a useful tip. Consider using this video's sponsor, Vehicle Score. This will give you a wealth of information on any used car you're thinking about buying. If you are serious about buying it though, make sure you purchase one of their paid HPI reports. I'll drop a 15% discount voucher for that in the description below. But for now, thank you so much for joining. I do hope you have a great rest of week. If you've enjoyed this video, do hit subscribe, do hit like, and I'll see you on the next one.